Cool. Well, let's hop into it. So, my name is Brandon. Today I'm going to be covering the Asian session on how to set up Bookmap. I do this every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. or sorry, not Mountain Time, 2 p.m. But 4 p.m. EST as soon as the market closes. So, let's go ahead. Let's hop right into it. Today I'm going to show you guys how to get up and running with Bookmap and get onboarded. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to head on over to bookmap.com. So when you are on bookmap.com, it's going to look just like this. You're going to see that we have this button up here that says login. Now you want to make sure that you click on this login button. And then from there, what you want to do is sign into your account. So enter your email and password. Once you do that, you then want to find your Bookmap portal, and all you have to do is click on your name and it will take you to your Bookmap portal. But then from there, it's going to take you to your user dashboard, and your license key is going to be right here. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to download Bookmap. So go back here where it says select system, choose your system depending on if you use Windows, Mac M1, etc. And then you want to choose your version. We have production and then we have alpha. Make sure that you do choose production. And then from there, you want to click download. Now, once you download Bookmap, the next thing that you want to do is you want to add a data subscription. To add a data subscription, again, go back to your Bookmap portal, and you're going to see that we have this button right here that says add subscription. Okay. You want to click on add subscription. Now, if you are not logged in, right, you can see that your name will pop up here, but if you're not actually logged in, it's still going to say log in. And it's going to show you this screen instead if you're not logged in. So again, make sure that you are actually signed into your account, because when you go to add subscriptions, it should look like this and not this. So these are the core subscriptions: digital, digital plus, global, global plus, etc. But to actually add your data subscription, again, you have to be signed in. So we're going to see the subscriptions that we can add to our Bookmap here. Now, first, adding a future or adding Bookmap futures data, this is really going to depend on what do you trade, right? So if you trade the S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, or the Russell, well, you want to go with Bookmap CME data, which is going to be $17 for the first month and then $34 every single month after that. If you trade the Dow Jones, you want to go with CBOT, which again is going to be $17 for the first month and then $34 every single month after that. If you trade oil, you'll want to go with NYMEX, again $17 for the first month and then $34 every month after that. Or if you trade gold or any other metal, that's all going to be under COMEX, again $17 for the first month and then $34 every single month after that. But if you trade multiple of these instruments, we do offer a Bookmap Data CME bundle, which is going to piece together all four of these in a one core subscription. So you'll get CME, CBOT, NYMEX, COMEX, all for one price of $79 each month. So this is going to make the most sense if you trade multiple, like if you trade the metals as well as the S&P futures, NASDAQ, and oil, this is going to make more sense. But if you just trade one specific thing, whether that just be gold by itself or S&P by itself, it would make more sense to go with the individual Bookmap data package. So that's how you're going to choose and determine which Bookmap futures data subscription you want. But then also if you trade regular equities like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, etc., I am talking. Yeah, it's showing up that I'm talking. You should be able to hear me. But if you trade individual stocks, then there's two different packages that you can go with, right? So we have Bookmap equities data, which we've gotten a lot of positive feedback with this. This is going to give you the NASDAQ total view and NLS, which is going to be $29 for the first month and $59 for every single month after that. Or there's also DX feed stocks data. It's going to be a little more expensive, but you can get the NASDAQ depth data by itself, which is going to be $69 every single month. Or you can get the EdgeX depth data by itself for $59 every single month. If you want both, you can get the package, which is $59 for the first month, and then $119 every month after that. So that's how you're going to choose between futures data, subscriptions, as well as the equities data. Again, equities data you want to do if you trade individual stocks, Bookmap futures data for futures. So now the next thing you want to do is you've already downloaded Bookmap. The next thing that we're going to do is run it. So I actually have my Bookmap pulled up right here, and I'll show you guys in real time how to actually do this. But when you open your Bookmap, it's going to look like this. We have our simulation mode, trading mode, replay mode. I'll explain all of these to you guys. So simulation mode, essentially what this is it's real-time market data, but you can trade on a fake account, right? So it's essentially paper trading with real-time live data is what simulation mode is. Trading mode is going to be real-time live data, but you can also route trades through trading mode. So you can actually route your trades through Bookmap by using trading mode. And then we have replay mode, which essentially allows you to go back to any specific day or specific time and start watching the order flow. So if you want to use replay mode, you need to make sure that you have record live data on. If you do not have this on, you are not going to be able to use replay mode, or you're not going to be able to choose like specific days and times. As long as this is on and you are running Bookmap, you can go back into replay mode and again choose a specific time and choose a specific day to watch the order flow. So that's a really nice feature that I like to use, especially when I back test, especially when I was first using Bookmap to get like used to, you know, how to read the order flow, how to use it with my trading. Replay mode was my best friend. Now, if you're routing your trades through Bookmap, you can also record your orders. And again, you can go back and you can replay those in replay mode. So that's the difference between the three. I'm just going to open up trading mode. So all we have to do is click OK. Give Bookmap a second and start. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel this. So now what we are going to do is go through the 3-step process. Some people are saying they can't hear me on the Discord. So my mic is moving. You should be able to hear me. Anyways, so we're going to go through the 3-step process: configuring market data, adding an adapter, enabling a connection, and then pulling up the instrument. All right. So what we want to do, first thing, go to connections and click configure, right? Now what we want to do is hit add/remove platform, and we're going to scroll down until we can find Bookmap data, which is right here, right? So this is going to add your adapter. Bookmap data, hit install. Okay. So now that we have that installed, the next thing that we want to do is go back over here and click add connection. So we've already established we've already input our adapter. The next thing we want to do is establish a connection. So once you hit add connection, you then want to scroll down until you find Bookmap data. This is going to be how we're going to add our futures. Okay. So platform, Bookmap data, server location. It depends on where you live. I live in the USA, so I'm going to choose US, but obviously if you live in Europe or Japan, you're going to choose that. So I live in the US, I'm going to choose USA. Now we're going to add the connection for individual stocks, which is going to be through DX feed. So again, all we have to do is hit add connection, go to platform, scroll down until we find DX feed and click that. And then that's all we have to do. Okay. So then from there, we just hit OK. I don't know why the Discord cannot hear me, even though my mic's moving. Anyways. So now what we want to do to pull up the futures instrument, we then want to head on over to connections and we want to select Bookmap data, right? So we're going to pull up a futures instrument, give this a second while it loads. And there we go. We can see that the Bookmap data has been established by this blue check right here. Now to pull up our futures instrument, we're going to click this plus button right here. we're going to make sure that the platform says Bookmap data, type is going to be futures, and then the exchange, that depends on what you're trading. If you're trading, again, oil, you're going to go with NYMEX, or if you're trading metals, you're going to go with COMEX. But we're just going to pull up the NASDAQ futures. So we're going to type in CME or select CME. And then the current symbol that we are on is NQZ5. Okay, and I'll show you guys how to find the correct symbol here in a little bit. But currently we are on NQZ5. Then we want to hit subscribe. So give this a second while it loads. There we go. So that's how you're going to pull up a futures instrument. All right. And we can see that the order flow is working right now. We can start using it right away. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is pull up an individual stock. So if we head back up here into connections, we can see that we have DX feed. We want to make sure to select it. Go back into connections. You'll see it's been selected by this blue check mark. So to pull up an individual stock, we're going to click add instrument. Now we're going to change this platform from Bookmap data to DX feed. And now from here, all we have to do is type in the individual stock that we want to pull up. So let's pull up Tesla, for example. TSLA. And you always want to make sure that you choose the common stock. Okay? So don't choose anything else. Always make sure that you're pulling up common stock. And then again, you want to hit subscribe. So give this a second while it loads. There we go. And it's almost there. Why are you not loading? Come on. There you go. All right, perfect. So now we have the Tesla order flow pulled up. And again, we can start using this right away. So now the other thing that you can add through your Bookmap data subscription is actually going to be crypto. I know there's a lot of crypto traders out there. So to do that, all you have to do, again, go back to add instrument. We don't have to add anything else. The only thing we have to do is hit add instrument. Go up here to platform, switch it back to Bookmap data. And then instead of having the type as futures, you want to change this to perpetual. Okay? Or perp. Our exchange is going to be multi-book, which is going to establish multiple different connections to give us the order flow. But all you have to do is type in BTC-USDT, or you can see that there's a long list of different cryptos that you can pull up. So actually, let's just go ahead and pull up Ethereum, USDT right there. As far as your tick size, I would change it a little bit when it comes to crypto, especially on Bitcoin. Where'd Bitcoin go? BTC, USDT. Because the tick size is essentially, you know, on Tesla, our tick size is like 20 cents. So intervals of 20 cents are popping up. Bitcoin being, you know, 90,000, I think is where was that today? 90,000, 91,000. You don't want to have a tick size of 1 because it's going to pop up with every single dollar over here. I would go higher, personally 50, and then hit subscribe. So I'll actually just pull up Bitcoin so you can see it. But same thing with Ethereum. I'd probably go with a higher tick size just because I think Ethereum passed 3K today. So yeah, you can see now that our tick size is every $50, 90,000, 90,050, 90,100, etc. That's what your tick size is. So that is how you are going to pull up a futures instrument, a stock instrument, as well as crypto. Now, as far as some other things, we're going to get to the questions here in a little bit. I see some people typing. But another thing that I want you guys to do is if you head on over to the Bookmap website, give me a second while I log in. There we go. If you go to the Bookmap website, you can see that we have this tab. It's the education tab. But there's a lot of free resources that you can access. All you need to do is have a, I gotta log in again. I don't know why it logged me out. Hold on. All you need to have is a free account on bookmap.com. Oh, now it's gonna mess up on this computer. education. Hold on, I gotta pull it up on this other browser. There we go. Okay. So on the education tab in the Learning Center, we have a bunch of free courses. This is kind of what we went over today, getting started with Bookmap, getting to know your features, connecting to a data subscription. But then we have like a free course on add-ons. We have a free course on market mechanics and order flow. But then if we scroll down a little more, you can see that there's actually multiple free courses from some of the people with Bookmap, right? So Bruce has a whole free course on supply and demand. Robert just dropped a free course as well. Jay Trader has a free course. I have a free course on how I use options combined with the order flow on Bookmap. So overall, there's a ton of free education in the Learning Center. But then also on top of that, we also have our knowledge base. So up here, you can see knowledge base. So pretty much, if you take the beginner and like the indicators on Bookmap and put it into text form, that's where your knowledge base is. So just text form of everything pretty much. And you can go through and you can read about specific, say automated strategies, right? You can go through here and read about it. So that's another free resource you can use. You can also join the Discord for completely free. Again, all you need is a free account on bookmap.com. All you have to do is click the Discord. But then also, going back to how to know what symbol to type in, because we do have expiration dates on all the futures, to determine what symbol to type in. Like currently we're on ESZ5 for the S&P. Once December comes to an end, we're going to go to H, right? So next year we're going to be on ESH6, right? So the way to determine what symbol to type in, all of that is right here. So you got to determine if you're trading with Bookmap data, Rhythmic, DX feed, etc. And it's going to tell you exactly how to type it in. So it's going to be the symbol, the month, and then the expiration or the year end for Bookmap data. So again, all of that is going to be right here on the symbols table. Trying to think what else. And then there's also a bunch of free events that you can join. So if we scroll down a little more on the Learning Center, keep going down, you can see that Bookmap hosts free events every single day. So if you go through this and you find one that you like say you want to join Robert, right? Click Robert's name, and you can see that the link is right here, as well as the day, the date, as well as the time. And again, all of that is going to be within the Discord. So definitely make sure you join the Discord. There's Carmine in a couple of days. I'm definitely going to be joining this one, but same thing. Day, time. All you have to do is click the link. And again, if you're in the Discord, you'll be able to access that. So that is everything. How to get up and running with Bookmap, how to input your symbols. And then as far as the Learning Center, knowledge base, joining the Discord, event calendar, that's everything. So I do want to hop into the questions that you guys have. So I'm going to take a few minutes to answer any questions. If you guys could just type them up in the chat and I'll answer them right now. Let's see. Let me pull up the YouTube real quick. Any questions? If I'm trading on TOS platform, they also have an option to buy Bookmap. My question is that Bookmap data a full version, and is there any drawbacks to buying it on TOS? I personally do not like the Thinkorswim version. It doesn't give you everything that the actual Bookmap app does. And I believe you actually only get access to a few names on the Thinkorswim version. So I like the actual Bookmap app a lot more. Yes. If you go to, can you hear me, T? Or who asked this question? It's only showing T. But is there a good lesson for, okay, you can hear me. All right, perfect. So for the icebergs, yes, there is, it's in the courses. Hold on. I think it might be under add-ons. Yep. So here's one on the stops and icebergs that you can go through, and then oops, let's go back a little more. Come on. And then also, as well as the knowledge base has it as well. Somewhere in here, MBO bundle, I believe. But yeah, go through both the knowledge base as well as the learning center. And there's a lot of content on iceberg orders. Can the liquidity line show limit versus stop limit orders? So you don't really know if they're stop orders until after the fact. Because there is a stops indicator that you can put on and it will show you how many stops got triggered on a specific move. But you're not going to know if they're buy orders or stop orders until after the fact. So Mark Q, I would join when Bruce, I believe Bruce is live this Friday. He's the one that's doing the pilot program. I would ask him. Ask him on Friday. T, yes. Again, if you go on the website and go to the event calendar, there's, let me pull it up. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Like live all market analysis with Bruce. He'd be doing it. He would be showing Bookmap in real time as the market's moving. I'm sure, let's see what Carmine's doing. Carmine might be doing it or showing examples. But yeah, a lot of the traders at Bookmap do. Perfect. What other questions you guys have? Any at all? Give another minute to see if anybody's got any, but other than that, I think we're good. Of course, Mark. Awesome. I do this every single Wednesday, so if you guys need more help, I'll be live again Wednesday. Bruce will be live on Friday. But yeah, if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving, have an amazing Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to everybody again next week.